Shut up and sit down.
And now, streaming live from the sunny Southern California coast, this is Options Uncensored.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to Options Uncensored. We're making real option trades in real time together. Let's get right into it. First things first, make sure you have your brokerage account open so you can follow along. Have your YouTube video quality set as high as possible. That way you can read the numbers a whole lot easier. Have a calculator nearby so we can do some easy math. And finally, remember, this is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. We made it. Another good week. Let's see what we've got open with our positions right now. Microsoft, we are down $15. That's not bad. All of our positions are now December expiration. All right. Short call spread here marks at 78. Our SPY position, we're up $22, trying to get to 32, right now at 42. So we opened this at 65, I think. All right, so far so good on our SPY short call spread. Also have a short call spread in Roku, trying to get to 34. This one is also up. We're up $26 on this one. So we're trying to hopefully get these closed soon. And finally, Micron's moved against us a bit, $30. Trying to get to 18 right now. Mark is at 65 on our short call spread there, but we've got plenty of time. We've got several weeks now till expiration, okay? So just hold on this one. Don't worry about it at all. All right, let's see if we can find some new positions. First up is Trade Desk, TTD. This is a post-earnings move, okay? Big move down, almost 20% today. Let's look on the put side. We're still trading December expiration, okay? 35 days till expiration. On the put side, the problem, if you sold the 55, it's too close, and selling the 50 is too far out. There's no in between here. If you sold the 55 and bought the 50, let's do the math. 115 minus 44 divided by 2 divided by 500. That's a 7.1% return potentially, but the 55 is awfully close on the chart. 55 is right about here. I'd rather sell the 50, but you're not going to get paid for it. Okay, let's look at the call side. Seems to be more fairly priced. If you sold the 70 and bought the 75, that's 98 minus 39. Divide that by 2 and divide that by 500. Almost 6% if you sold the call side. 70 on the chart. All the way up here. I'll make a mark on this one. We'll come back later. I'm not crazy about this one, but we'll follow up later on in the show. Maybe it's made some better movement. Next win, WYNN. This is post earnings as well. And this one is down almost 9%. It could catch a bounce around 80, 81. So this one's interesting. Let's take a look at the put side here. If we sold the 75 and bought the 70, that's 87 minus 37. Divide that by 2. Divide that by 500. 5% on the nose. That one's okay. On the call side, if you sold the 90 and bought the 95, let's see here. 85 minus 25, divide that by 2, divide that by 500, 6%. So you get paid more to sell the call side. That makes sense. I would rather sell the put side. Again, I'll make a note of this one. We'll come back at the end. Next, TKO. This one is down 8%, and this is not an earnings move. News on this one. Maybe no news. All right. Let's see if there are options available to trade. It could catch a bounce here. There are, but not enough volume, okay? We need more volume to make more liquidity. This one's too illiquid. Same thing with the call side. Well, let's move on. Diageo down 15%. So we're gonna have the same problem here. Too illiquid. You'd want to sell the 125, but the spread here is 70-105. It'd be really hard to get this filled, and if you get into trouble, it'd make it really hard to roll or close if you need to get out of it. Same thing on the call side. Let's move on. Unity. We looked at this one yesterday. We had earnings move today. Sorry, yesterday after the close. This looks like it's rallied back a lot already. It opened down here and it's rallied back a lot. Here's our chart. It's near an all-time low. Let's look at the put side. You'd have to sell the 21 and buy the 19. That's 36 minus 14 divided by 2, divided by 200. 5.5% on that one. It's okay. On the call side, if you sold the 29 and bought the 32, that's 40 minus 13 divided by 2 divided by 300, 4.5%. So while this one does have great liquidity, you're just not getting paid for it. And I think it's, post earnings, we've got red on this side. We've got red on this side. That means just all the volatility has been sucked out of it, which goes the premium with it. So it's not worth making this trade now. Next, Illumina, down 14%. I believe this one is post earnings as well. Correct. Let's look at our chart. Ugly chart. We have to go out to the weekly here. Go back to 2013-ish. Yeah, it could catch a bounce around 86 or so. All right. Go back to the daily here. Let's look at the put side on the options. If you sold the 75 and bought the 70, your problem is it's too illiquid. You got a 45-cent spread here. Too hard to fill. And same thing with the call side. Not enough volume here. Moving on. PBR, Petrobras. I think this might be post earnings. Yes, earnings. But it doesn't look like we have a lot of movement. So that means they're not going to be expensive options, priced options. And we got red on both sides. Nothing to do here. Next. CTVA. No, nothing. The chart looks nice, though. 2 days after earnings. We're going to have to hold on this one. All right, let's look at Disney following up from earnings 2 days ago. We missed this one. Should have sold the call spread yesterday. I don't think there'll be anything to do here now. You'd have to sell the 80 on the put side. Skip that. On the call side, now we missed it. All right, next. Coinbase, COIN. Earnings are in February. We're about a week after earnings here. I think I wanted to wait to have more movement in upward direction and then sell something around here. So we're not there yet. But good liquidity here, lots of volume, lots of open interest. I'll keep this one on the list. We'll keep looking at it day after day. Let's move on to Affirm, AFRM. Down 8%. Earnings, we're past earnings now. 2 days after earnings. I'm sure the same thing. We probably looked at the call spread yesterday. Don't know if it was worth it though. The put side though, if you sold the 17.5 and bought the 12.5, no, buy the 15. Let's take a look. 36 minus 12 divided by 2 divided by 250, not even 5%. Skip the put side. On the call side, you'd have to sell the 27.5, and that's awfully close. You'd want to have sold the calls yesterday, not today. It's already down. I think we'll take Affirm off the list. Twilio, TWLO. Here's our chart. We had a gap up yesterday. After earnings, it sold off. Looks like it's moving up again. How does the call side look? You sold the 65 and bought the 70. That's 59. Minus 17 divided by 2 divided by 500, 4.2%. On the put side, if you sold the 52.5 and bought the 50, that's 80. Minus 42 divided by 2 divided by 500, even worse. Wait, did I do that right? 52 and the 50 side, divided by 250, that's 7.6. Is that right? If you sold the 52.5 and bought the 50, 79 minus 42. 79 minus 42, divide that by 2, divided by 250, that's a 7.4% return. 52.5 is awfully close. Let's take a look on the chart. Well, that's why. 52.5 is right here. I don't know if I'd want to take that one. You get paid for it for sure. A 7.4% return. Not bad at all. Let's take a look at Tesla. TSLA. Down 2% today. Again, this one's still in no man's land. We're waiting for a move up here to like around the 260s to sell a call spread. Or wait for it to fall all the way down to 160 or so and then sell a put spread. So kind of like, let's see who pays more. That might give us a clue. If you sold the 175 and bought the 170, that's 264. Sorry, let's do that again. 261 minus 197 divided by 2 and divide that by 500. 6.4% on the put side. And on the call side, if you sold the 240 and bought the 245, does that beat 6.4? 273 minus 212, divide that by 2, divide that by 500, 6.1%. So you get paid a little bit better to sell the put side, but that makes sense as we have this continued downward motion now. I'd still wait to sell a put side. Next is XOP. Interesting. Got a bunch of red candles here. Maybe it's time to sell the put side. If you sold the 125 and bought the 120, that's 106 minus 54 divided by 2 divided by 500, 5.2% there. That's okay. On the call side, if you sold the 148 and bought the 153, that's 117 minus 56, divide that by 2, divide that by 500, 6.1%. So you get paid more to sell the call side, but that makes sense. Where's 149 on the chart? Right about here. That's okay. That's fairly priced. We're going to stay away for right now. All right, that does it for that list. Let's go to our IV rank scanner and sort by volume. SPY, it's creeped up a little bit. It was, I think, 21 yesterday. Let's take a look. I got my short call spread open. I want to sell the call side here. December expiration. My strikes are the 456, 461. If you want to open something today, you'd have to sell the 453 and buy the 458. Let's do the math. That's 114 minus 54 divided by 2 divided by 500. 6% on the nose if you sold the call side now. I don't know. 453 on the chart. $453 is right about here. That seems very fairly priced. What are my strikes? I'm the 456. I'm up here. Seems fairly priced. We sold ours a couple days ago. We sold our call spread on the 7th. That was right here. So even though it hasn't had much movement, we are a little bit up on the position. It's barely moved and we're already up $23. So that's great. NVIDIA earnings coming up. Plug is down 35% today, but it's a $4 stock. It's going to be hard to do anything there. Trade desk, we already looked at. The TLT, we're going to skip the TLT today. It hasn't been moving much. GLD still has a little bit of volatility in it. I could get a bounce here. Let's see what the put side looks like. If you sold the 173, you're not going to get paid for it. And bought the 168. That's 48 minus 15. 48 minus 15 divided by 2 divided by 500. 3.3% if you sold the put side. No good on the call side. If you sold the 187, it's awfully close, but now let's sell the 188. And sell the 188 and buy the 193. That's 80 minus 32 divided by 2 divided by 500. 4.8% there. So the move in gold is over. We have to wait now for more volatility. You can see we sold our call spread here. We were getting paid anywhere between 5.5% to 6% if you sold your call spreads. Now you're only getting anywhere between 3 and 5%. So we'll come back to gold later on. JetBlue will skip. It's only a $4 stock. Avago will skip. Pfizer. Let's check out Pfizer. I doubt there's anything to do there. PFE. Yeah, what a horrible chart. Let's look at the put side. The 27.5 is too close, and the 26 is too far out. On the call side, same thing. 31 is too close, and 32.5 is too far out. Let's move on. Good liquidity there, though. Next page. American Airlines, only a $12 stock, not worth it. Enphase. pass. Lilly. Palo Alto has earnings on the 15th. That's sometime next week, so we'll follow up then. The KRE still has a little bit of volatility. GM. Snowflake has earnings on the 29th. Illumina, we already looked at. The biotech ETF, XBI. Let's take a look at that one. We don't have to worry about earnings for something like this. Interesting. On the put side, if you sold the 59 and bought the 54, what do you get? That's 57 minus 18 divided by 2 divided by 500. 3.9%. No good there. On the call side, if you sold the 72 and bought the 77, 57 minus 13 divided by 2 divided by 500, 4.4% there. Skip this one. You're not going to get paid for it. Earnings are on the 14th for C. We'll come back next week. Newmont. Oh, that's interesting. Let's take a look at Newmont really quick. Wonder why. We're post earnings, I believe. Yeah, earnings aren't till February now. That's why our chart's kind of fallen off a cliff here. We'll probably get back. It's already down to the pandemic lows. That's no good. On the put side, if you sold the 30 and bought the 27.5, not going to get paid for it. On the call side, skip the call side. One more page here. Target. Target has earnings on the 15th. That's why. We'll follow up with Target after their earnings next week, okay? CrowdStrike has earnings. Novo. We're past earnings, but they still have heightened volatility. Let's check that one out. NVO. I don't think there's liquidity here. We looked at these a bunch over the past couple of weeks. It's okay. 10-cent wide. Yeah, skip this one. Moderna has an event coming up. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's on this list. Let's take a look at Coca-Cola then. KO. Interesting. On the put side, if you sold the 52.5 and bought the 50, you're not going to get paid for it. On the call side, skip the call side. You have to sell the 60 and you get nothing for it. Skip this one. I don't know why Coca-Cola's on this list. That's a mistake. Pepsi again. We can look at Pepsi. Maybe we get paid better for Pepsi. If you sold the 155 and bought the 150, that's 69 minus 32. Divided by 2, divided by 500. Skip the put side. On the call side, if you sold the 175, bought the 180, 41 minus 12, divided by 2, divided by 500. Horrible. Less than 3%. All right, let's go back. Let's look at Trade Desk and Win one more time. See if there's anything to open there. Well, on the put side, if you sold the 50 and bought the 47.5, yikes. Let's look at win really quick. WYNN. We might do this one. Okay, yeah, I think we'll sell win on the put side. If we sold the 75 and bought the 70, that's 79 minus 33 divided by 2 divided by 500. No, that's 4.6%. That's bad. On the call side, if you sold the 92.5 and bought the 97.5, that's 57. Wait a second. Yeah. 57 minus 16 divided by 2 divided by 500, 4.1%. Let's do win anyways. We'll sell the 75 and buy the 70. Okay? All right, we'll go to verticals here. 5 is the width. We're looking at the 75.70. So we're going to sell one December expiration of the 75 put, and we're going to buy one December expiration of the 70 put. We'll go ahead and ask for, I think it was just at 53, right? Let's go back and type in 53. Limit credit, okay? For the day, we'll preview this. We'll double check the ticket. Sell one, put 75 to open, and buy one 70 put to open. We'll receive a credit of 53. That's important. Make sure you're receiving a credit. Good to go. Let's send this out. And I'll hang out here. If this one does get filled today, 53 divided by 2, we'll set a buy to close order for 26, okay? Buy to close 26, and we'll set that as good till canceled, limit debit, okay? And I'll hang out with the rest of them here. All right, great job today, guys. Happy Friday. Thank you for watching. Tune in every morning, 7:15 a.m. on the West Coast, 10:15 a.m. on the East Coast. We'll all trade options together. Tell your friends that are trading options to tune in too. We can learn and have fun together. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see everybody on Monday morning.